Just when we thought we knew everything about AZ's past and just needed some explanations, we find out that 1000 years after he fired the ultimate weapon, he built something else named Ange. But what is Ange and how does it connect Kalos to Paldea? Well, I am notsoAceTrainer and I am here to let you know. Let's get into it. While we know the Prism Tower as something modern, that is just how they dressed it, because underneath all of that modern appeal, there lies something that actually resembles the actual Eiffel Tower in Paris a little bit more. Instead of it though, there's a device that AZ named Ange 2000 years ago. According to the giant of a man, a powerful man asked him to build it in order to protect Kalos, and AZ did. Not only with the protection of Kalos in mind, but also with the hope that he could use it to gather his eternal flower floette, as it could only be activated by the strongest Mega Evolution user, likely AZ at the time, and it was connected to Mega Floette. It wasn't supposed to take, but actually share eternal life. If everything goes perfectly, then Ange together with Mega Floette can become Ange Floette. In that state, Ange Floette can do what it is supposed to do, which is protect the Kalos region. It basically works as a, like the name indicates, guardian angel, as Ange in French means angel. In fact, this guaranteed safety is likely what made so many people join together in Lumiose and made it grow outward from the tower. But AZ did not count on one thing. Lysander fired the ultimate weapon once again in Pokémon X and Y, hitting Geozench down in the process. While the weapon destroyed itself as well, the shockwave it sent reached Ange, and without the strongest Mega Evolution user and Mega Floette, it woke up. That's what triggered everything happening in Pokémon Legends Z-A. Mega powers started leaking, causing Mega Crystals to show up in the city. This caused all sorts of issues, but the most dangerous of all was Rogue Mega Evolution, which is also what happened when Urbane or Tawny took Floette up there to Ange and Mega Evolved it. Instead of being able to control it, it was too late and Mega Floette gets absorbed, which ends up with Hyper Rogue Ange Floette, and starts, trying to do the opposite of what it was created for. It starts trying to take and not give. When everything is said and done, we were able to destroy Ange with the help of Mega Zygarde and its new move, Nihil Light, which leaves the Prism Tower and the whole Centrical Plaza turned into a place full of Pokémon life. In fact, Prism Tower consumed by vegetation resembles a tree, and with Kalos Legendary's Norse mythology inspiration, it likely is meant to resemble Yggdrasil, the world tree or the tree of life of Norse mythology that stands in the middle of all the other worlds and holds them together, just like the tower stands in the middle of Lumiose City. In fact, going back to the legendaries, the spread steel atop Prism Tower from where the huge Light of Ruin was fired, in a way resembles both the spread wings of Yveltal and the antlers of Xerneas. Or, if we look at it as Yggdrasil, it resembles the wings of the unnamed eagle atop of which Veðrfolnir sits, and that also sits on top of the tree, or the antlers of Eikthirnir, the stag that stands on top of Valhalla. The first being the possible inspiration for Yveltal, and the second the possible inspiration for Xerneas. But how does this connect Kalos to Paldea? Well, for that we have to go back in time again. Like I said, Ange was created 2000 years ago by AZ per request of a powerful man that needed to protect Kalos. The man was likely the king at the time or the first mayor or something like that. It doesn't really matter. The man doesn't matter. What matters is that we have a when, and by having a when, we can actually check what was happening at the time in the Pokemon world that could make someone fear so much that they want a device to protect the whole region. We know a couple of things about the history of the Pokemon world 2000 years ago. It's around then that the home of the Draconic people got turned into Meteor Falls, and when Rayquaza, after the Draconic people wished on a meteor, saved them from Primal Groudon and Primal Kyogre. It's also around that time that the Paldean Empire began to rule Paldea. We know that they started the Great Age of Exploration, going down into the Great Crater of Paldea to find the rumored treasure. And we also know that eventually they fell into decline due to how much all of that cost. But during that time, they built forts and watchtowers to watch on its neighboring countries during times of war. We can't forget it, Paldea wasn't the Paldea we know, as that only formed when the empire fell and surrounding nations united into this one entity, as Ryford put it. We know that this age lasted for around 1,000 years and then there was no more money to spend. And what would someone described as a dictator, like the Emperor of Paldea, do when there was no more money to spend and they still wanted to spend money? He would start invading to get more under his wing in order to also have more riches to spend. And what other countries neighbor Paldea? Well, besides those unnamed regions, the only other country that was actually confirmed in Pokémon Legends Z-A to neighbor Paldea is none other than the country or region of Kalos. In fact, one of those wartime watchtowers is actually right next to the mountain that leads into Kalos, suggesting that Paldea was definitely keeping tabs on them. If you ruled the Kalos region and felt like your country could be next in line for a Paldean invasion or something like that, you would try to find a way to defend yourself. Sure, you had the Prism Tower to watch over the surrounding area, but how would you defend yourself against someone that apparently was as ruthless as the Paldean Emperor? Well, you asked someone to create a device that would ensure the protection of Kalos, a device created by the same man that created the ultimate weapon, which had put an end to a war 1,000 years before. There were many theories at the time that the ultimate weapon had actually been used on Paldea before, being the reason for the Great Crater to actually exist. And I think I even made a theory about that myself at the time. This was, of course, before Pokémon Scarlet and Pokémon Violet came out, and how we know it is not true. But it's undeniable that things seem to line up too perfectly when it comes to the era of Paldean domination and the time when someone powerful felt like Kalos needed to be protected. Ange was created because of Paldea, or because of the Emperor of Paldea. I know we have a 2,000 years ago date for both, but Pokemon usually rounds up the numbers. So basically, it wasn't just AZ's mistakes that led to what happened in Pokémon Legends Z-A. It was also the mistakes of a man that used to rule Paldea, its emperor. The past always comes back to bite you, and this time the past had more than one set of teeth. But it's kinda nice to finally have some confirmation that Paldea and Kalos were very close to being at war. What do you think? Do you believe Ange was built to protect Kalos from Paldea? Let me know down below. And now, that is all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one. But before I go, I want to thank my YouTube members Good Old Deo and Sean Speak, and my Twitch subscribers and newbies here, Zanes222, Lazarix, and the Dr. Joe. Thank you so much for all of your support.